In this video, I want to share with you the updates that we have made to our new 2025 financial sheet. The financial sheet will be shared with you over the coming weeks as we prepare for your January 2025 report. So if we open up the sheet, you'll see that there doesn't seem like much of a difference initially. However, there has been some fundamental changes to the way we do things, which I'll break them down for you. The 5 most important tabs that you will be interacting with is uncategorized transactions, personal expenses, your monthly report, your account breakdown, and your annual P&L. The uncategorized transactions and personal expenses have not changed. There will be a list of all the uncategorized transactions that we need clarity on. You will go in column G and just give us information so that we can allocate those accordingly. Likewise, with your personal expenses, we'll list everything that is sitting on your balance sheet as a personal expense. And from there, you can notify us if that needs to move to a business expense. We endeavor to make 0 mistakes and get everything right first time. We are human beings and we often are uncertain of where transactions go, or we could misplace transactions. If you notice anything, please just let us know and we'll rectify that as soon as possible and update any reports that are needed. Before I break down any of the other sheets, I want to just share with you some of the updates we've made in general and then showcase that to you in the report itself. So the first major update we've made is we have changed our chart of accounts. Historically, we have placed billing fees and merchant processing fees under a cost of goods sold categories, and we have moved that now to overheads. And the reason for that is pretty simple. It would create a lot more confusion than it did clarity on these 2 transactions sitting as a cost of goods sold. And when we redid a lot of analysis after conversations with a lot of our clients and internally, we felt that our KPI reporting will be a lot more robust and a lot clearer and a lot simpler, which is an extremely important part of what we do here at Lucro, is trying to keep things simple so that we can utilize that information effectively. We don't like too much complexity. We felt it necessary to move these 2 transaction types into our overhead. So if you go into your annual P&L, this is a sample, obviously, with sample information. You'll see that under cost of goods sold, there is no more merchant processing or billing fees, and they are now sitting down here under our overheads, and we have then adjusted all our formulas and all our KPIs accordingly. One of the second changes is we've had some additional accounts added, and we've also renamed some accounts. I'm not going to give us in any more detail than that. It is pretty straightforward. We've done that just for clarity of our purposes, and we felt that there are additional accounts needed in order to improve the overall metrics. It makes a very subtle change to what you will receive. Just know that if you go into the annual P&L, you may see things slightly different to what they were in 2024. Another major shift that we've had is in our monthly reporting. And so we have changed the way we do monthly reporting. So I just want to quickly go back and show you. This tab is locked so that you won't be able to edit it. And obviously we then prepare this report and then we'll send it to you via PDF as we usually do. You can then go in after the fact and go and look at the report here as well. Just know that please don't use anything on this report until you've actually received the PDF, because that verifies that information is correct. As you'll see, there's a slight change to the format here. We've added cost of goods sold as one of our KPI metrics that wasn't in 2024. We've also removed individual comments, and we've decided that it's going to be a lot better for us to have one overarching comment around the entire performance of the business, where we can talk more broadly as opposed to only focus on individual areas. The one I want to talk about here being formula-based is that these KPIs, so all of these KPIs from income all the way down to cash on hand, are objective, formula-based, what's the word I'm looking for? Formula-based outcomes. So whether it's positive, neutral, warning, or caution, that is a formula that's going to determine that based on internal formulas we have. We are not going to take any subjectivity into account. We will apply subjectivity. For instance, a once-off expense or something that you explained happened in your business is the reason why that metric isn't good. We will explain that in the commentary, but we feel it's very important to hold fast to our KPI methodology and what we believe is to be objectively true to what the performance of a practice should look like. So we don't want to apply too much subjectivity into what is the statuses that we're giving each KPI. The 2 that are subjective is our trend and our performance review. There, the account manager will go in and decide what is the status of the trend and the performance overview, and then will obviously generate the comment accordingly. Another addition is what we call focus areas. Here we will identify 3 particular focus areas that we believe that you need to be focusing on in order to improve the performance of your practice and your business. Those will be directly linked to the resources that we have in the Lucro Vault, and you'll be able to then access those accordingly in order to get those resources to help you improve the performance of your business. So this is also, again, subjective. Your account manager will determine what do they believe are the 3 most important focus areas that you need to be working on in order to improve the performance of your business. We have also introduced a drill down, some improved drill down analysis functionality in the sheet. So if you go down to account breakdown, this historically, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller so that we can see it. This historically was just a pivot table. And we've tried to improve the functionality by giving us a drop down so we can choose different accounts to review. So for instance, I can go down, I can also type it in, but I can look at software, and then it will give me, it will just need a second to update, but then it will, once it's updated, it will then give me the software breakdown that we can look at over the entire, obviously this is sample data, but it can give us a software breakdown. For those of you that understand how the sheets work, it is just a pivot table. Every now and again, we need to just make sure that all the accounts are selected on the back end. Sometimes it doesn't give us the full range because of the functionality of how a pivot table works. Unfortunately, it's just something that is the way sheets work. It's not something we can do just by a simple drop down at the top here. There is also later on in the tab, there is the standard account analysis sheet that you could use if you wanted to, if you understand Google Sheets a little bit better, but we're just trying to improve the functionality of drill down analysis. And then lastly, I want to talk to you about our Lucro 2.0 dashboard. Our aim is to launch our Lucro 2.0 dashboard during February of 2025. Originally, we would try to launch it at the end of last year, but we realized that timing, as well as trying to finish 2024 financial years, was going to create too much confusion and potentially too much work for everyone to manage, and then potentially impact the success of closing out books for 2024 and then impacting the filing of taxes. So we delayed that to February, and I just want to give you a breakdown of what the dashboard looks like. What's very important to note is that everything that is in the Google Sheet, so everything that is in this sheet is going to be on the dashboard. There's very little in the dashboard that isn't in the Google Sheet. The aim of the dashboard is just to really enhance the way we interact with the information and to increase the functionality of how you can utilize that information and make it more seamless and make it easier. So I just want to take a moment to share with you what the dashboard will look like once that is rolled out. So you'll start by logging into the dashboard. So initially you'll land on the login page, you'll put your username and your email address in, which is all securely secure profiles will be created, linked to your different practices. And then once you're in, you'll land on our growth plan page, which is a snapshot of the financial report. So it's the top section of the financial report that you usually receive is just represented in a far more user-friendly way, in this format. So all those same metrics are here. The comment that we have under performance review will be at the bottom. The different focal areas that we think you should focus on with direct links to those resources, obviously making that a lot more functionable. And then all our key KPIs and metrics that we want to be tracking are at the top of the sheet. You can then have, you can go down to performance review, so like a little bit more detailed analysis. So here we're kind of looking at the second section of the report, as well as the bottom of the report, looking at some trend analysis and trying to drill down a little bit deeper into what is actually happening in the practice at any particular point in time. This is where the drill down analysis is going to be significantly better. You, for instance, can go into a section and you can see the entire list of all the expenses or all the costs or all the income items, whatever transaction that is relating to that amount, as well as some trend analysis of how that is forecasted over the course of the month. Then you can also go into detailed view. So this is, again, other sections of our financial report where we have an entire breakdown of our P&L, both forecast, actual, and year-to-date, our cash flow movements, as well as our balance sheet breakdown. And here, again, you have the same functionality. I can go into overhead, I can look at this category, and I can see exactly what is made up of that $15,262. And that is really the ultimate functionality that we want to provide you as a user of Lucro, is giving you that information that we already have that is already extremely helpful, but in just a far more functionable way, so that you can interact with it a lot better. One other thing that we will be rolling out soon, industry insights, where we're aggregating information and providing the aggregate information of where you fit in the bands. There's different bands, revenue bands, as well as different types of performers that you can review. And this will be rolled out after the dashboard is launched, as we are collating that data and generating that aggregate review for everyone. So that's what the overview of the dashboard looks like. And we're really excited that in February of this year, we'll be launching this to enhance your experience of working with us here at Lucro.